Hey, it's Saul Overman. Picked up something kind of unusual today. It's a pair of rare handcuffs. They're marked Taihei or Taihei. I'm not sure how you're supposed to say it. It's Taihei. Not much information on these available. I went to the collectors forums for handcuffs. The only thing I could really find out is they were made in Japan in the 50s, and then apparently copied in the Orient by some other companies. Some of them are seen marked Super K and some other markings. Those are considered reproductions of this handcuff. Uh, this one is made in steel. The other ones generally are found in chrome over brass. This is chrome over steel. And the other ones apparently are usually not magnetic. So this is a real pair of handcuffs I expect was made to be used, or not a novelty item. They have an interesting, let me get the camera set down here, I can pick them up. They have an interesting operating mechanism compared to other handcuffs that people are more familiar with, like the Peerless style or Smith & Wesson. They don't have the double pawl, the double, trying to say, the stepped notch ratchet system that a set of Peerless or a pair of Smith & Wessons has. It has a row of pins, a row of holes, and then a star in here. You can see it. You can see the star down in there that has a set of pins on it. So when the handcuff closes, one of those that star rotates, one of the pins settles into one of these holes, and I'm expecting that there is a, on the pawl that the key engages, there is also a pin that engages another hole, a hole, I'm trying to say, on the pawl that engages one of the pins on that star. And then when you use the key, it disengages the lever, the pawl that has that hole from the star, and allows the star to turn again, and the key will, the locking arm will back off, and you can take the handcuffs off. They're pretty well made, pretty good materials. Some design flaws. For one, the pins on that star, if someone strong enough would be able to either bend the pin that went into the locking arm or the pin that went into the pawl. If one of those pins bends on that star, then the handcuff will open. The other flaw I see is that this portion is far too narrow. Somebody that was strong enough would be able to torque these and pop out that rivet. I didn't get a key with it. I made one out of an old blank that I had that looked right. There is a picture on Google Images of a set with the key, so I kind of had that to go with. And this key does work. If you don't stick it in too far, it'll open it. It just engages a simple lever, I believe, inside of there. There's no way, no pins or anything to drive out to get in there to look at the mechanism. But I think there's just a little lever on that pawl that has the hole in it that bears into one of those pins on the star. So this key engages that little lever, pulls it down, and disengages the bar with the hole, the pawl with the hole in it, from the star mechanism on the bottom, and allows the star mechanism to turn. As long as that's depressed, it'll turn backward. Normal operation of it, it'll only turn forwards. I don't see any sort of double locking mechanism on this anywhere, or any way to engage it. So if you were to use these on somebody, it's another design flaw. They'd be able to just continually tighten them up and eventually get them too tight. Like I said, even the big collectors of them that have just pictures of just thousands of these may have one picture of these and really very little or no information other than they're from the 50s and they're from Japan, and that's about it. I haven't seen any write-ups on them, or couldn't find any information on them on YouTube, which usually you can find pretty good information on handcuffs on YouTube. They are light duty, definitely lightweight compared to what you're used to with a pair of Smith & Wessons or Peerless. The chain seems to be all in good quality. Like I said, it's good quality materials, And obviously the locking mechanism is held up over the years, so I mean that's pretty good materials. It's just not a great design as far as its ruggedness, and I don't think that that star locking design is very sturdy either. I think that in practice these could be broken by somebody that was strong enough to just break out of them. I've seen people, extremely strong people, do that with Peerless and Smith & Wesson handcuffs. Just crank on them hard enough, torque it enough, and the pin will break here, or they just disintegrate the locking mechanism and they open. But I think even if someone of just high average strength probably could eventually bust these open. So I'm not a collector myself of handcuffs, but I do buy them, and when I see them and I know that they're a little bit unusual or older, I'll buy them to pass on to the collector. So I am going to be putting these up on eBay. An interesting variation, some old handcuffs. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. It's Saul Overman saying have a great day.